Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po, si Resmond A. Capistrano. Nandito po ako para i-discuss sa inyo ang measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion. The measures of central tendency alone do not provide the dispersion of the distribution of the individual observations refers to the spreadness of the observations around the measure of central tendency. Ang measures of dispersion ay mga paraan ng paglalarawan ng dataset upang malaman kung nakakumpol o nakakalat yung distribution ng ating data. And there are the two most commonly used in measure of dispersion, the standard deviation and the variance. Isa rin sa mga halimbawa ng measures of dispersion ay ang range. Range, the difference between the greatest data value and the least data value. Ang range ay ang spread ng data mula sa pinakamababa hanggang sa pinakamataas na value sa ating dataset. Ito rin ang simplest measure of dispersion. Nakukuha natin ang range sa pamamagitan ng pag-subtract ng highest value sa lowest value. Halimbawa, kung makikita natin sa dataset letter A, ang given ay 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 19, and 22. So makikita natin na ito ay arranged na and walang negative. So ang gagawin na lang natin ay kukunin natin ang highest at lowest value. So ang highest data value is 22 and the lowest data value is 1. So 22 minus 1 is equals to 21. Therefore, 21 ang ating range sa dataset letter A. Sa dataset letter B naman, ang given natin ay negative 8, negative 5, negative 12, negative 1, positive 4, positive 7, and positive 11. So makikita natin na meron itong negative and hindi pa ito totally naka-arrange. So, ang gagawin natin, i-arrange muna natin sila through their value. So, ang pinakamababa na value is negative 12. Sumunod, negative 8. Sumunod, negative 5, negative 1, positive 4, positive 7, and positive 11. So, ang gagawin naman natin ngayon ay isusubtract na natin ang highest data value sa lowest data value. So, ang highest data value natin sa dataset letter B is 11. And ang lowest data value natin ay negative 12. 11 minus negative 12 is equals to 11 plus 12. Paano nangyari? Bakit naging positive ang 12? Kasi 11 minus 12, yung minus sign ay may distribute sa negative 12. So 11 plus 12 is equals to 23. Yan ang 23 ang ating range sa dataset letter B. Dumako naman tayo sa standard deviation. Standard deviation, the measures of dispersion that involves all observations in the distribution rather than through extreme observation. And it is the most accurate measure of dispersion. Ang standard deviation ay measure of dispersion na naglalayong malaman ang amount of variation sa pagitan ng mga values. And ang una nating ginagawa sa standard deviation is kunin ang mean. Meron tayong dalawang formula for solving the standard deviation, the population and the sample. Punta muna tayo sa population. Population standard deviation. Kung makikita natin, yung nasa upper part, yan ang formula ng standard deviation. Ang base dyan is sigma is equals to square root of summation of x minus mu raised to 2 over n. And kung makikita natin, itong putol na to, yung small letter O na may buntot, yan ang tinatawag nating standard deviation for population o tinatawag ring sigma. So next, ito namang letter N, makikita natin, yan naman ang size of population or the number of numerical data. And pag sinabi nating number of numerical data, ito ang kabuuang bilang ng numerical data sa ating dataset. Next, ito namang letter X, yan naman ang each value from the population or numerical data. Ang numerical data naman, ito ang bilang ng bawat given data. And kung makikita nyo yung parang nakabaliktad na small letter h, yun naman ang population mean or the mean of population or tinatawag rin siyang mu. Pumunta naman tayo sa isa pang formula ng standard deviation. Ito ang sample standard deviation. Kung makikita ulit natin sa upper part, yan ang formula ng sample sa standard deviation. Ang basa naman dyan is S is equals to square root of summation of x minus x bar raised to 2 over n minus 1. So, ang symbol ng sample standard deviation is S. And yung n naman is the size of the sample or number of numerical data. And yung x naman is each value from the sample or the numerical data. And yung panghuli, yung x na may underline sa taas, yan naman ang tinatawag nating the sample mean or tinatawag ding x bar. Pumunta naman tayo sa solve for standard deviation. The frequency distribution of scores of 40 students in educational research is shown below. Solve for the standard deviation. The frequency distribution of scores of 40 students in educational research is shown below. So kung makikita natin, meron agad tayong given na scores and the F or the frequency. So punta na agad tayo sa step number 1. Step number 1. Solve the mean using class mark or midpoint method. So kanina, meron naman tayong scores and frequency na given. Nadagdagan tayo ngayon ng x and fx. Paano nga ba nakukuha ang x and fx? Ang x nakukuha natin dahil sa midpoint ng scores. Example, 54 to 56. Ang midpoint niya o nasa gitna ng 54 and 56 is 55. 51 to 53. Ang midpoint niya or ang gitna niya ay 52. 48 to 50. Ang gitna niya or ang midpoint niya is 49. So, ganun lang makukuha ng x or ng class mark. So, paano naman nakuha ang fx? So, base dito, fx, f times x or frequency multiply by class mark. So, example, 3 times 55 is equals to 165. 2 times 52 is equals to 104. So, nakuha natin ang x and fx dahil sa given ng dalawang to. So, meron agad tayong total or summation of frequency or ng f and summation of fx. So, proceed na tayo sa step number 1. Solve the mean using class mark o midpoint method. Paano nga ba kumuha ng mean? Or what is the formula ng mean? Ang formula ng mean is mean is equals to summation of fx over summation of frequency. So, mean is equals to summation of summation of fx, which is ito, total na fx, 1,624 over summation of frequency. Ang summation of frequency is 40. So, 1,624 divided by 40 equals to 40.6. Ito na ang ating pinaka-mean, 40.6. Subtract the mean to the class, then square it. After you square the differences of mean and class mark, multiply it to the frequency. Kanina, nag-solve tayo ng ating mean, which is the 40.6. Ngayon naman, tatalakay natin kung paano nakuha itong tatlong to. So, based dito, x minus ating mean, so ang x, 55 minus ating mean, which is the 40.6, is equals to 14.40. So, pa example, 52 ang ating x minus ang ating mean, 40.6, is equals to 11.40. Dito naman tayo sa x minus x bar squared. 14.40 is squared lang natin. Ang squared ng 14.40 is 207.36. So, yun. So, pang example, 11.40 ay squared lang natin. So, equals 129.96. So, ngayon naman, paano makuha ang frequency x minus x bar squared? So, ang ating x minus x bar squared ay mumultiply lang natin sa ating frequency. Example, 207.36 times 3 is equals to 622.08, which is nandito. Ibig sabihin, ang formula lang natin is frequency times the x minus x bar squared. 3 times 207.36 is equals to 622.08. 2 times 129.96 is 259.92. Tayo sa step number 3 o sa ating last step. Solve for the standard deviation by substituting the need value to the formula. Ang ating formula ay summation of f times x minus x bar raised to 2 over summation of frequency minus 1. Ang ating value ng summation of f times x minus x bar raised to 2 is 2,109.60. And atin namang value ng summation of frequency ay 40. 40 minus 1 is equals to 39. 2,109.60 divided by 39 is equals to 54.09. So, 54.09 ang ating standard deviation of the frequency distribution of score of 40 students. Variance, a measurement of how far each number in a dataset is from mean, and plus from each other number in the set. And variance is the square of the standard deviation of the data. Ang variance ay isang measure of dispersion na naglalayong malaman ang degree of spread o yung mga kalat, mga numero sa dataset. These are the steps in the formula for solving the variance. Ang formula ng population variance is sigma squared is equals to summation of x minus mu raised to 2 over n. And the formula for sample ng variance is s squared is equals to summation of x minus x bar raised to 2 over n minus 1. The scores of students in statistics are 22, 33, 45, 25, 37, and 48. Compute the range, standard deviation, and variance of the given sample score. Ang una nating titingnan is kung ano nga ba ang hinahanap ng ating problem. Kung ito ba ay population or sample. Pero nakalagay na dito na sample ang ating hinahanap. Pangalawa, kailangan natin i-arrange ang ating given data to from lowest to highest. So 22, 25, 33, 37, 45, and 48. So pagkatapos natin kuhanin ang i-arrange ang lowest to highest data, ang kailangan naman natin kunin ay ang range. Ano nga ba ang formula ng range? Range is high data value minus low data value, or the highest minus lowest. So ang highest natin is 48. 48 minus ang ating lowest ay 22. 48 minus 22 is equals to 26. Punta naman tayo sa standard deviation. Pag tayo nagko-compute ng standard deviation, ang una nating hinahanap ay ang mean. Ano nga ba ang formula ng mean? Ang formula ng mean is x bar is equals to summation of x over n, or summation of numerical data over the number of numerical data. So mean is equals to summation of x. Pag sinabi natin summation of x, summation na ating mga given. So 22 plus 25 plus 33 plus 37 plus 45 plus 48 over the number of numerical data. Kung ilan ang ating numerical data? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 ang ating given. So 22 plus 25 plus 33 plus 37 plus 45 plus 48 is equals to 210 over 6. So 210 divided by 6 is equals to 35. So 35 ang ating mean. Next. Para mapadali ang pagkuha ng ating standard deviation, kailangan natin gumawa ng table. X, ilalagay natin ang mga given data or mga given from lowest to highest. 22, 25, 33, 37, 45, and 48. So, nalagay na natin ang mga given data. So, meron tayong ditong formula. X minus mean. X is itong mga given data na ating sinulat. And yung mean natin is 35. So, X, 22, minus ating mean, 35, is equals to negative 13. Isa pa, 25, our numerical data, minus our mean, 35, is equals to negative 10. So, sulat ko lang lahat na nandito. So, tapos ko na isulat ang ating x minus mean. So, kumpleto na ang ating table. Dito naman, ay madali lamang. I-squared lang natin ang mga answers sa column na ito. Negative 13 squared. Negative 10 squared. Negative 2 squared. 2 squared. 10 squared. 13 squared. 13 times 13 is equals to, negative 13 times negative 13 is equals to positive 69. Because negative times negative is equals to positive. Negative 10 times negative 10 is equals to 100. Negative 2 times negative 2 is equals to positive 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 10 times 10 is equals to 100. 13 times 13 is equals to 169. So, nakuha na rin natin ang x minus x bar raised to 2. Kailangan naman natin gawin ay i-add lahat para kunin ang summation of x minus x squared, which is itong lahat. 169 plus 100 plus 4 plus 4 plus 100 plus 69 is equals to 546. Ang formula ng sample sa standard deviation ay S is equals to square root of summation of x minus x bar raised to 2 over n minus 1. So, S is equals to square root of summation of x minus x squared is ito. 546. And our n is kung ilan ang ating data sample. So, 6. Substitute. 6 minus 1. S is equals to square root of 546 over 5. 6 minus 1 is equals to 5. S is equals to square root of 56 divided by 5. 546 divided by 5 is equals to 10.5. 45. Ito ang ating standard deviation. Dumako naman tayo sa ating variance of sample. Ito ang formula ng sample ng variance. S squared is equals to summation of x minus x bar raised to 2 over n minus 1. So, mapapansin natin, halos magkaparehas lang ang formula ng variance sa standard deviation. Wala lang square root itong variance. So, S squared is equals to summation of x minus x bar raised to 2 is 546. 546 over n, the numerical data, which is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 minus 1. S squared is equals to 546. 6 minus 1 is equals to 5. 546 divided by 5 is 109.2. Ito na ang ating variance and standard deviation. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening.